Bedford, New Jersey. Today, it's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we've got a good one in store between the Chicago Bears and the New York Jets. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Fields. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. The 20. Touchdown, Chicago! Equanimeous St. Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears need just 2 plays on their opening drive to take the early lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Throwing is Wilson. Looking for Mims, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. So Charles already down 7-0 early. They opt to take a shot there on the first play of scrimmage, but that plan backfires.
That feels a little bit like last week's loss lingering into this game, doesn't it? You know, you're down 7 already. You lost last week. It's almost like they're trying to get it all back in one shot, trying to take a big chunk play right out of the gate.
They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They'll try the right side with Harris. Room here to run. Oh, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, that maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Those warm-ups were dry.
Oh, we're dry. And now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. It might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And this one is incomplete. The Jets at 4-6 now on the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here, and it kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And some space here. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
Now that's how you start to get back in the good graces of your head coach. Remember, he fumbled on the last possession. How about the faith they showed him, giving him the ball again, and he repaid him, picking up a first down.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver. I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields locates Mooney on the out route. Touchdown! Darnell Mooney, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Bears have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Garibay. And that'll make the score 14-0. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Moore. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch...
And intercepted. Wilson's 3rd of the game. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Charles, it is pretty rare that we see a team build this kind of lead in the opening quarter. And, man, they seem to be clicking on all 3 phases right there. The defense doing its part with a pick 6.
And it's absolutely been the definition of a start that you would pick for yourself and for your team, right? And I have a feeling that they just want to stay in this zone. What's truly incredible about this start is they can add on a couple more scores. This one could legitimately be over in the 2nd quarter.
From the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 2nd down and 4. Wilson to the right side, and he's got more complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. On 1st down, Wilson. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
Yeah, and you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
He gets it underneath to Hall. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer, but he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Moore, the man in motion. On 2nd and 10, Wilson. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. In motion left is Wilson. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And a short 3-yard pickup gets him up to the 15. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Fields now to throw. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Returning it is Moore. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
their own 41-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson under pressure, and they got to him again. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That is caught. It's Uzomah. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
Here's Jones on the return. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 7, Fields eluding the pressure right. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Fields. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Chicago. I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one better than 20 miles an hour. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. Hall on a give up the middle. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bears are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. From the 50, here's Fields. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Chase Claypool, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
They go play action with Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And they will score a pick-6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick-6 is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, And they're kind of forced to take a few chances here. And that one, it backfired in a big way.
Extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken in at the 3. The lane opens here. He's past the 30.
Elijah Moore on the return. The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards. Here's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This is caught. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 yards for number 11.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with first and goal.
Wilson. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Wilson. Touchdown, Jets. Garrett Wilson. A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. And he's got room. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 62 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A throw over the middle, taken in, and he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. Touchdown, Chicago! Darnell Mooney. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Bears just continue to roll. The extra point up and good by Garibay. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball. And it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Let's go, let's go. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go play action now. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, it grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
From the 6. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They'll set up the screen for Hall. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't.
Touchdown, Garrett Wilson. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that's the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Brings their line to kick off for the Jets.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This one fielded at the 5. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 16-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on third down, Fields. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Here's Fields. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, that's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Bears. Chase Claypool, 67 yards. And the Bears look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. Garibay on for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And he's going to give his guys great starting field position as he dives to the ground to get as much as he can. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a fourth straight loss. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now it's Wilson. That is caught by Mims. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And this one complete again to Mims. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bears are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on go ahead and scoring. He's got it reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. .31 yards on the punt there. And the Jets will take over.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line.
Okay, break.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Takes it at the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here. Things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season. But in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
That's good for the Jets. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll air this one out for Mims. And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing again here, Wilson. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. So now Wilson and the Jets with a 3rd and long here following the sack. Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson, and that will be incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here we go. Set.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bears will get the football back. Harris starts the drive on the ground.
And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. 78 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
First down.